helping students thrive in life. College life for free.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. IJ, your #1 college life coach. Welcome, I'm so glad you joined me. Now I have some really important stuff to share with you. So if I were you, I would grab like a piece of paper and a pen to just jot down some notes, or you could watch this video again. So I thought it was really important to share with you all about 7 critical areas that I've identified that I think you need to develop before graduating from college. So there's 7 different areas, okay? So the first area that you need to develop before graduating from college are your competencies, your capacities. And there are 3 types of competencies. There's your interpersonal competence, your cognitive competence, and your manual competence. So let me backtrack and explain what that means. So your interpersonal competence, that simply means your ability to work well with others or communicate well with others. Of course, you need to develop your competency in this area because, you know, when you leave college, you're gonna have to learn how to work well with people and navigate difficult situations involving people. So using college as a space to really develop in this skill set or in this competency is really critical. The second type of competency you need to develop is your manual skills, your manual competence, meaning do you know how to use computer programs really well? Do you know how to edit videos or edit different things on the computer? Are you technologically, wow, that's such a tongue tire, technologically savvy? Do you know how to use different software programs to really get things done? Because of course, again, the goal is to develop your skill set for when you leave college and enter the workforce and you're tasked with the responsibility of tending to a lot of technology stuff, right? So we talked about your interpersonal competency, your manual competency, as well as your cognitive. That's the third one. Your cognitive competency. So what that means is simply your ability to be a critical thinker. Are you able to think critically? Are you placing yourself in situations where you get to hear counter narratives or you get to share your own perspective to start exploring the various ways of thinking? That's really important. We live in a very diverse world where people think differently in general. So being able to voice your own opinions and hear the opinions of others and use that information that you're gathering to really make an informed decision or to develop a more informed way of thinking is really important to develop while you're in college. So I talked about the first category, which is developing your competency. The second critical area that you need to develop before graduating from college has to do with your ability to manage your emotions. Oh my gosh, when you're in college, so many things are going to trigger you and make you angry or make you sad or make you just pissed off and frustrated, right? So in college, that really is a space for you to learn how to navigate and manage your emotions because so many people are going to get under your skin. So many situations will get under your skin. And the key there is to know how to manage it well. I can go on and on about this, but I just want to highlight those 7 areas in this quick video. So being able to pause, take a breather, and come up with a plan of action in your response. So one thing is it's valid for you to respond in a way or feel angry, but the way you respond or reply to the person who pissed you off is so important. You're responsible for that. So you have to develop strategies and understanding as to how to best manage your emotions, okay? Also with managing your emotions, it has to do with self-control and applying tact and managing your tone of voice, right? Because we know that nonverbals sometimes speak louder than what you're actually verbally communicating. So you want to be able to manage your emotions in that way. So let's backtrack. The first critical area you need to develop has to do with developing your competencies. The second has to do with managing your emotions. Now let's talk about the third critical area you need to develop before graduating from college. That third area has to do with moving from a place of dependence you're dependent on your parents when you're a first year student, and then you become more independent. Okay, you're becoming more autonomous, and then you're moving from dependence to independence to interdependence, right? So interdependence is definitely the ultimate goal, where you are learning to have a collective mindset. You understand that you have skills, other people have skills, so let's put our skills together and make magic happen. So important, okay? Give me 1 second. Gotta close my door. All right, so we talked about the 3 areas. The third area was moving from dependence to independence to interdependence, making sure you accomplish that before you graduate from college. Now let's talk about the 4th critical area. This has to do with developing mature interpersonal relationships while you're in college. College is a space where you really get to network and build rapport with people that you share similarities and even differences with, because you will certainly need some people after college to really connect you to resources that you need. And it's important that you have those mature relationships, because it gives you training in holding one another accountable. Oftentimes, that's something we are lacking. We have many associates, many people that we're cool with, but will those people have your back? Will those people hold you accountable? Will those people just tell you what you want to hear? Are you telling those people what they want to hear? Are you holding them accountable? So mature relationships is really about supporting that individual in their growth and their development, and being a consistent individual in their lives. So definitely you have to build those relationships while you're in college, and keep that in mind to be intentional about building those mature relationships in college. So we've talked about 4 different areas. Let's move on to the 5th area. The 5th area has to do with establishing a sense of identity. Now, what do I mean by identity? What I mean by identity, I mean your group membership in society, how you name yourself. For example, I identify as a Black woman who's married, who's educated, all those things, right? So how do you identify? That's really important, because by knowing who you are, it will determine how you show up in the workplace. It will determine how you show up in the classroom, or how you navigate your friendships and your acquaintances and things like that. So be aware of your culture, your way of being. Find value in that, right? Everyone's culture is valuable, so you have to find value in your own culture. You have to embrace your own difference. Everyone is different. You don't want to be a replica of someone else, right? You have your own unique personality, your own unique interests. So I want you to embrace that. Embrace who you are, stand in your truth, show up in spaces and be authentic, and really own your identity, right? So you have to start exploring your sense of identity while you're in college. That is super critical, because if you don't know who you are, other people will name that for you, and that's not a comfortable place to be, where you're conforming to what people think you should be. So you want to know who you are and stand in your truth and show up confidently in who you are. And one thing I want you to remember is that being different in whatever way, in whatever regard, is valuable. We need people who come with a variety of differences, right? So keep that in mind as you continue your college education, your college tenure. So we talked about 5 different areas. I have 2 more for you, 2 critical areas that you need to develop before graduating from college. And that 6th area is finding your sense of purpose. A lot of college students feel so confused about their sense of purpose. Why on earth am I here? And it doesn't have to necessarily be that existential, right? It could just simply be, why am I in college? What is my career trajectory? Asking themselves these questions. And you have to sit down, look at your personality, look at your heart, look at your interests, your passions, your experiences. All these things will definitely inform you of your purpose. Things that you constantly think about, things that you've identified a need that needs to be addressed. If you're able to do that, that means that's your purpose, right? It doesn't have to be a long-term purpose. It could be short-term. But, the ultimate goal is for you to really embrace your passions and to embrace your calling, and to listen carefully to things that are constantly on your mind, because that can definitely inform your purpose. Okay, big area, big critical area that you need to continue pondering over. Now, the final seventh area that I want to talk to you about has to do with establishing a sense of integrity. Now, what does integrity mean, right? Integrity simply means you know what your values are, you know what you value, you know what you believe in, and your actions match your values. It's not like you believe in justice, but then you're being unjust, or whatever the word is. You're discriminating against people. That's not really matching. Your actions are not matching your values. So be very aware of what you value, what you believe in, what you stand for, and make sure your actions match that. Make sure they're congruent. So that's what I mean by integrity. Integrity means doing the right thing. Are you making good ethical choices, good ethical decisions? Because if not, you're jeopardizing your college experience. You're jeopardizing the potential of you just building the character that you need when it's time to go out into the workforce. Because trust me, later on in life, you're going to be faced with lots and lots of ethical dilemmas. And college is a space where you can really begin to practice how to be a person of integrity, how to have good character, and how to always do the right thing, make the right choices that don't cause harm to others in any form or fashion. So I've given you information about the 7 critical areas that you need to develop before graduating from college. Make sure you watch this video again. If you found value in this video, make sure you share it with your friends. This is super important. I can't tell you how important this stuff is, being someone who has worked as a professor at colleges, has advised and counseled students, college students. So I'm really passionate about your growth, your development, and I've seen how these 7 critical areas can either make or break you. So that's why I'm sharing this information, because I want you to be successful. So you have the information now. My question is, what are you going to do with it? Right? Are you going to ponder over these things and make sure that you're intentional about what you're doing in college to make sure you're growing and developing in these areas? I surely hope so. So if you want more information, make sure you check out the link that I've dropped there, collegelifecoach.info, for more information. I have a blog, a course, videos, all kinds of resources for you, coaching. So check it out and drop a message below if you have some feedback or if you want to make a comment. So wishing you the best. Hang in there. It's almost turkey time. So this is a really crucial period in the semester, and it's really stressful, and you might be going through all kinds of negative emotions, but I want you to know that you need to keep your head up. It's almost over. You're a survivor. You're resilient, and you're doing a wonderful job. You got this, okay? You got this, and just wishing you a wonderful week. Study, but don't study too much, and take care of yourself, okay? Take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.